What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video we're taking a look at the SSL Fusion FH compressor, which stands for high frequency compressor. This is the compressor section from the SSL Fusion hardware unit, and of course we're looking at this because this is now the third Fusion plug-in on sale for just $29 for this week. So if you're not familiar, the first week they did the Fusion Vintage Drive, second week they did the Violet EQ. We're now on the third week where we've got the high frequency compressor. So what this compressor does is it essentially helps remove harshness from a mix or tracks by compressing the high frequencies, pretty much like a multi-band limiter in a way. Very few controls that we have here. Let's go over them real quick, and then of course I'll let you hear what it sounds like. We've got input and output trim. This light at the top next to the HF compressor is, you can think of this as like a traffic light of how much compression or gain reduction that you're doing with the plug-in. So you've got green, you got yellow, and red. Of course, red means that you're doing a lot of compression, which is good to see on this plugin because we don't have anything indicating how much gain reduction or compression that we're doing. We also have a threshold, which goes to plus or -10. And remember, this is generally meant to be used on buses or master bus. So we're not going to have, as a standard compressor, we'll be able to go a lot further down with the threshold. But here we have a plus and minus 10 dB. We've got a crossover from 3K up to 20K. So anything over it's like I have it set to 13K. So it's going to be, the compressor is going to be reacting on 13K and up, leaving everything below that untouched. And then we have your mix knob here. We have an auto gain, and then we have in, which will of course activate the plug-in. All right, so I've got this across this mix, and I've also got on the master bus, along with the high frequency compressor here, I've got the SSL native bus compressor 2, and then I've got the SSL Fusion Vintage Drive. I have the SSL Fusion high frequency compressor, and then following that I have the SSL Fusion Violet EQ, which I've got bypassed right now. All right, so I'm gonna hit play, and let's bypass this at first and take a listen to it, and then we'll bring this in and see what it does.
What's your name? Where you from? Send your resume. Told that bitch don't play. I represent black hate. Throw that ass for a young businessman. Make that thing wobble while there's money in my hand.
All right, let's bring in the HF compressor now.
What's your name? Where you from? Send your resume. Told that bitch don't play. I represent black hate. Throw that ass for a young businessman. Make that thing wobble while there's money in my hand.
All right, now I'm going to play it and bring it in and out so you can hear the immediate difference.
What's your name? Where you from? Send your resume. Told that bitch don't play. I represent black hate. Throw that ass for a young businessman. Make that thing wobble while there's money in my hand. I just might pop a bottle, tell the DJ run it back. What's your name? Where you from?
Okay, so the way it's set right now, I really can't say that it's really making things smoother. I do see that the compressor is reacting on some of this content, and this is over 13K, so we're in the high frequencies. I'm going to bring this down to, let's go ahead and bring it down to 8K, and we're going to bring the threshold down to a -5.
What's your name? Where you from? Send your resume. Told that bitch don't play. I represent black hate. Throw that ass for a young businessman. Make that thing wobble while there's money in my hand. I just might pop a bottle, tell the DJ run it back.
All right, what we're going to do now is going to hit this listen button. Now this is going to let you hear what the compressor is reacting on.
What's your name? Where you from? Send your resume. Told that bitch don't play. I represent black hate. Throw that ass for a young businessman. Make that thing wobble while there's money in my hand. I just might pop a bottle, tell the DJ run it back.
Okay, so one thing you consistently hear in that is the snare, and that's one thing I am hearing being affected the most in this is I feel like that snare is getting darker with this compressor on. Let's take a listen again and bring it in and out. I'm going to set it back up to 13K.
What's your name? Where you from? Send your resume. Told that bitch don't play. I represent black hate. Throw that ass for a young businessman. Make that thing wobble while there's money in my hand. I just might pop a bottle, tell the DJ run it back.
Okay, so it's definitely making the snare darker in my opinion, which I'm not a fan of on this. Let's go for some, what I'd say is not something we'd normally go for when setting this, but let's kind of set this to the extreme with -10. We're going to bring this crossover down to, let's bring it down to 4K. So we're really going to be doing some compression here. I really don't expect this to sound good, but let's just hear what this does with our compression all the way down as far as it can go and bringing this crossover down. So we're reacting on the frequencies above 4K now.
What's your name? Where you from? Send your resume. Told that bitch don't play. I represent black hate. Throw that ass for a young businessman. Make that thing wobble while there's money in my hand. I just might pop a bottle. Tell the DJ run it back.
Okay, so yeah, didn't expect that to sound good. Getting a whole lot of compression. I'm curious just how much compression that this can do, because again, we don't have any indication in dB of how much compression is going on. But again, we have that light that you see at the top. And again, once you're hitting red, you're doing a lot of compression. All right, so let's give my final thoughts on this. Not really a fan of this for what it does compared to other plugins I have. So just for example, so again, this is supposed to help smooth out some of these high frequencies. And what I'm a huge fan of is Smooth Operator from Baby Audio, which also smooths out high frequencies, but it also smooths out harshness in any frequencies, because we can use this to react on anything in the frequency spectrum from 20 hertz up to 20K. Another good one that I like if I'm dealing with some harshness is the Moog Magnum K compressor, which I have the plug-in as well as the hardware. But this compressor in the middle, the K comp, will help smooth out some harsh frequencies as well. Now, with this Fusion HF compressor, like the rest of these Fusion plugins, or well, the drive, vintage drive, I really liked it on its own. This high frequency compressor, I don't feel like it's much on its own, but when you combine it with the rest of the Fusion plugins, I feel like we've got something going there. So just lastly, I'm going to take the Violet EQ and we're going to bring this in and have that, I'm bumping a little bit, 2 dB at 16K and 3 dB at 70 hertz, just so you can hear this EQ after this compressor is going on. So with the high frequency compressor, we're compressing some of the high frequencies, which can tend to darken your signal or track or song. And with this Violet EQ, we're going to look to brighten it up just a little bit. So let's take a listen to how that sounds. Let's set this threshold back to something reasonable. Okay.
What's your name? Where you from? Send your resume. Told that bitch don't play. I represent black hate. Throw that ass for a young businessman. Make that thing wobble while there's money in my hand. I just might pop a bottle. Tell the DJ run it back. What's your name? Where you from? Send your resume. Told that bitch don't play. I represent black hate.
Okay, so I was really focusing on the snare there, because with that high frequency compressor, I feel like it's making the snare too dark in this mix, but with the Violet EQ, it is brightening it back up to where I like it. So HF Compressor, not crazy about it on its own, but could really work, or as it should, work with the rest of these Fusion plugins in the lineup. And of course, every week SSL is putting one of these on sale. So it looks like next week we'll either get the stereo widener or the transformer one. I feel like you can miss me with the stereo widening, but we'll see. But the transformer, I'm looking forward to checking out. But that's my review of the SSL Fusion high frequency compressor. Definitely comment and let me know what you think. Of course, I'll have a link in the description if y'all want to check this out and learn more about it or pick it up. If you picked up these other Fusion plugins at $29, definitely comment and let me know as well. I did pass on the Violet EQ for $29, but I did get the vintage drive, and I'm going to pass on this one as well, but looking forward to checking out the transformer one. All right, if you enjoy this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. And if y'all want to continue to see content from me, then y'all know what to do.